Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyana. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshinim. Oh. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishnavandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. And we take up today reading of the 15th Shloka of the Sannyas Yoga, the 5th Adhyaya, 5th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And Sri Krishna has been teaching us through the previous few verses that the karma as such, action, it pertains only to the Prakriti part, to the creation part, not to the Purusha, not to the Brahman, not to the Satchidananda Brahman. Satchidananda Brahman is absolutely in its own glory, in its own bliss, in his own happiness, absolutely not concerned with the karma as such. It is only the Prakriti. Like in the 14th Shloka also, Sri Krishna has told us that it is the element of the moment a person, a being takes birth, the action part starts. Na kartutvam na karmani lokasya srujati prabhuhu. The Lord does not create any agency. Lord does not tell you to do anything, nor does He ask anyone to do any action. Lord is absolutely away from all these things. Lord has got nothing to do with karma, nothing to do with even allocating an agency to anybody. You do this work, you do this work. No, the work is not in the syllabus of the Lord. Na karma phala sanyogam svabhavastu pravartate. Neither Lord has got anything to do with the fruits of action. Who is doing what fruit is to be given. No, it is not his department at all. But svabhavastu pravartate. All the actions, they become part of because of the svabhava, because of the nature, because of the creation, because of the Prakriti. So it is the nature which gets into this game of activity. And in this 15th shloka, again Sri Krishna is reiterating the same fact. Sri Krishna says, nādatte kasyachit pāpaṁ na chaiva sukṛitaṁ vibhuḥ ajñānenāvṛitaṁ jñānaṁ tena muhyanti jantavaḥ. Vibhuḥ, the Omnipresent, the Lord, the Almighty, Sri Krishna says, Vibhuḥ nādatte kasyachit pāpaṁ na cha eva sukṛitaṁ. Pāpaṁ and sukṛitaṁ. Pāpaṁ is demerit, sukṛitaṁ is merit. Nādatte kasyachit. Of anyone, Lord does not take vibhuḥ, the omnipresent one. He does not take of anyone. What does not take? Does not take of pāpaṁ and sukṛitaṁ. The demerit and the merit. Lord does not take anything from that karma that person is doing. That belongs to him. Lord is no way concerned with it. Vibhuḥ nādatte kasyachit pāpaṁ na chaiva sukṛitaṁ. He has got nothing to do with pāpaṁ and sukṛitaṁ. Pāpaṁ is demerit. Sukṛitaṁ is merit. So the Lord is away from all these things that the beings are getting into. Lord has got nothing to do with it. Ajñānenāvṛitaṁ jñānaṁ. The knowledge veiled by ignorance. With the knowledge veiled by ignorance, getting under that delusion of maya. Tena muhyanti jantavaḥ. The mortals, the beings, jantavaḥ. Jantavaḥ is the mortals. They become deluded by the knowledge getting veiled by ignorance. Ajñānenāvṛitaṁ jñānaṁ. The ajñāna, the ignorance, having veiled the knowledge. Ignorance having put up that curtain in front of knowledge. Knowledge is not visible. Knowledge is not perceptible. That knowledge is gone behind that veil of ignorance. And with that knowledge getting veiled by the ignorance, the mortals thereby they get deluded. And they start thinking the punya, the papa and all. Lord has got nothing to do with it, Sri Krishna says. It is all your own creation. It is all your own fancy. Lord, the one who is indweller in this body is least bothered, is least affected by what you are doing. You are doing your activities through your body, through your mind, through your intellect, through your senses. This fellow who is sitting inside, the Supreme Being, is no way affected. He has got nothing to do with what you are doing good or you are doing bad, you are doing meritorious thing or you are doing a heinous thing. Nothing is. With the knowledge getting veiled by ignorance, all this delusion, all the mortal beings, they come under that delusion. I am the doer. So, Prakriti or nature is constituted of 5 elements. Now, Swami Chidbhavananda ji has given this beautiful explanation to explain this particular teaching of Sri Krishna, that how Lord is absolutely not concerned with the activities that beings are doing. This entire creation is constituted of 5 elements, Pancha Mahabhuta. Now, what are these 5 elements? These are Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha and Prithvi. Akasha is space, ether. Vayu is air. Agni is fire. Apaha is water. And Prithvi is earth. Now, among these 5 elements, 5 Panchamahabhutas, 5 gross elements, only the ether, the Akasha, is not, it does not get affected by the changes in the physico-chemical circumstances. Otherwise, rest all 4 others, the air, the water, and the earth and fire, all these 4, they can be perceived. They can be perceived. They can get affected, influenced by the circumstances. Water can become hot or cold. Air can become, suddenly we feel, okay, there is some bad smell in the air. If something starts burning, we get that, we feel that, okay, the air is carrying some the bad odor. Water we can perceive. The fire we can perceive. Oh, it is fire. Let us be careful about it. Let us not touch it. But the same fire, we can cook our food on it. Right? So, likewise, all the four other bhutas can be perceived, but not the ether, not the space. What way we can perceive the space? Can space become hot or cold? Can space become wet or dry? Can space, carry any odors or scents or smells? No. Space remains space. You cannot even measure the space. That is the only thing, that is the only element among the five cosmic principles, the Pancha Mahabhutas, that have created this entire creation. That space remains unaffected by anything. And like that, Swami Chidbhavananda ji says that what Sri Krishna has said, that the Lord, the Omnipresent, is not affected by the deeds of any of the beings. The Lord does not take any note of any sin or any virtue or any merit or any demerit that the beings are doing. They are doing it under the ignorance. They are getting deluded with that knowledge getting veiled by the ignorance, and they are thinking of pāpaṁ punya. I am doing this meritorious act. Or if they have done something bad, they will start repenting. Oh, I have done this sinful act, I have done this evil act, I have done this dirty act. So this merit and demerit, Lord is no way concerned with it. Good and evil emanate from the four other cosmic principles, but not the ether. Likewise, Ishvara, the Lord, remains unaffected by the merits and demerits of the beings. A crystal glass seems to take the hue of the flower brought to its proximity, but actually the crystal remains ever itself. Or let us take another example of say mirror. We take 10 different things in front of the mirror. Now what happens? All these 10 things, they get reflected in the mirror. But is there any change in the mirror because of these 10 reflections of 10 different things? Nothing at all. And similarly, the Lord has got, whether you bring some beautiful flower in front of the mirror will reflect that flower, but mirror is no way affected. It is not going to gain any happiness if some good thing gets reflected in that mirror. We get influenced, we get affected, we get emotional change, the good or bad, the sin or merit, that can be seen in us, not in the Atman, not in the vibhuḥ. People who are in ignorance impose these traits of merit and demerit of Prakriti on the Atman, and then they get deluded. They think, oh, I have done this great sin, or I have done this wonderful meritorious act. I have done it. That is the feeling they get. I have done it. But in reality, no. They have also not done. They are just the instruments. The nature is making them act. The nature is making them work. The work that has come to their Lord. That is it. And the nature, the creation, the Prakriti has provided them with the resources to do that work. That is it. Our body, our intellect, our mind, our senses, they are just instruments in getting that work done, which comes to them through nature, through Prakriti, through creation. Lord never gives any work. Lord doesn't take any fruit of that work that you are doing. Lord is not concerned at all. So, karma has no place in the jurisdiction of his blessedness. Karma doesn't need. Lord doesn't do anything. It is only the Prakriti. Prakriti gets itself vitalized in the proximity of Purusha. That's it. Jivatma gets bound when he identifies himself with Prakriti rather than identifying with the Purusha. And that is where all the Maya starts playing. The moment the Jiva, the being, the mortals, they start associating more with the Prakriti than the Atman, the whole confusion starts, the whole delusion starts, and then the me and mine, the I consciousness, the aham, it starts playing its tricks. Now, what Sri Ramakrishna has to teach on this? Let us read Sri Ramakrishna's words. The burning lamp gives light to one and all around it. Some use that light for cooking their food. Some others for reading sacred books and gaining knowledge. Yet others for forging some false documents. Same light. Now, what are different way that light is being utilized? Somebody with the help of that light is preparing food so that we can eat it, we can have good nourishment, we can provide nourishment to the body. So, some people may use that light for cooking the food. Some people, they may be studying some scriptures under that light. They may be gaining a great amount of knowledge in their thirst to know what lies beyond. That light is used for gaining knowledge. And Sri Ramakrishna says someone may be using that light to forge some documents, some signatures, and okay, let me make some quick bucks. All different types of things can be done under the same light. The merits and demerits in these several acts do not in any way affect the light coming from that lamp. Is that lamp affected anyway? Is the lamp is not going to get any nourishment from the food that is being cooked under its light? The lamp is not going to gain any knowledge under which that pandit, that devotee is reading a scripture to gain the knowledge. Lamp is not going to get any knowledge out of it. Neither the lamp is going to make any fast bucks, any money. If someone is forging a signature and forging documents to gain some material gains, the lamp remains absolutely unperturbed. There is nothing that the lamp gets out of all these activities. They are performed under its own presence. In the same way, in this wise, the consciousness equally present in all beings makes all sorts of activities possible in them because of its proximity. Now the Atman is residing in this body, it can't help it. If the body is working, if the mind is working, if the intellect is working, if the senses are working in certain manner, because of that delusion, because of that ajñāna, what way? The indweller inside, like Sri Krishna had told in that Shloka, Navadvare Dehi Puram, that enlightened one who is sitting in this body of 9 openings, in this citadel of 9 openings, happily taking a rest. He is no way concerned. That Atman is no way concerned. The good and bad deeds, however, of beings do not go to the pure consciousness which is Ishvara. So what I am doing as a body, as intellect, as mind, as senses remains to this body. Yes, it does get carried away. The karma that is done does get carried away, carry forward. But not the Atman. And depending on the karma, one has to accept the fruits. But the Atman, but that again is for the body. If not in this body, maybe in some other body. What I did in my previous births, not birth, previous births, I am meant to do it now, my prarabdha. What I am doing now, that I will have to accumulate the whole backlog with me till all the karmas are finished. Then I get the liberation. When I leave this body, maybe I take up another body and restart the process. But in all these things, they are happening under delusion. They are not happening with knowledge. They are happening with me perceiving myself as a part of this prakriti. The moment I get the realization that I am not this, the moment I get this realization, I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not this intellect, I am not these senses. That's it. The I will never exist to do any more karmas. And therefore Sri Krishna says, it is only under getting deluded by the ignorance. When the knowledge gets veiled by ignorance, the beings get deluded with this impression. They are doing everything. Not the Lord. The vibhuḥ, he has got nothing to do with pāpaṁ and sukṛitaṁ of the beings that they are doing all these things. He is sitting in his own glory, in its own bliss, in that city of 9 openings. So that was Sri Krishna's teaching to us in this 15th shloka of the Sannyasa Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.